let's talk about round hill weeklies. If we combine them all together, I don't know, I think we're looking at like 77 cents for WPAY, but nobody knows yet. So this is the early. Right now it's 6:37. The email didn't hit yet, but this is the early, or these are the early numbers, thanks to One-Eyed Willie inside my Discord. Earnings are coming up this week. There's a whole bunch of great companies that have earnings coming up in this month and the beginning of November, but most people are sleeping to that. So all the Mag 7 is in WPAY. I'm not here to talk about this. We're talking about core compounding. I'm opening another branch. Oh, and I'm all in $500,000 on WPAY. So these are all the companies. This is all the Mag 7. Plus, right here, the best in military tech AI. The equivalent of what one day will be Skynet. Right now, it's even controlling civilians. Palantir. So we have nice coverage here. I love this game of the velocity of money. I bring this way of thinking here from crypto to game. So now we do it with ETFs. I'm profit ripping and core number compounding, taking no prisoners. What I am doing is ripping off the top when it goes over a predetermined number, 100,000. When it's up like 10%, $10,000 is dashboard money. I sell $10,000 worth of the stock and I put it aside. Yes. And I wait for a red day like the contractor of money. And what I do is deploy their own money back in and buy more shares cheaper. No, it's not swing trading. You're only looking at your portfolio balance. To do this, I isolate them. It's part of my war tactics. So I isolate them. Let's jump in. All my videos, I've been training you how to do this. What this is about is the amount of money you invest. I'm going to show you real life examples and what I'm doing now. I made $25,000 this week off a $100,000 investment and collected and withdrew a $3,800 margin. No margin. Collected and withdrew a $3,800 premium payment. Yeah. From WPAY HOOW. What most of you don't know is we are in a spectacular time. Earnings season is coming up. Everything in WPAY is either going to hit or miss, but overall, we should have a wild earnings season. WPAY should be out of the park. The individual ones, there are certain ones I'm playing, but I am core number compounding them, ripping off the top, selling into pumps without anyone knowing, while accumulating more shares. Let me break the strategy down for you. Okay, pre-markets, we are green. This is my profit ripping folder. Okay, so we go here, core compounding. Just to show you how I started. I started with $100,000. I had growth, plus dividends. Can you imagine that? We're not used to that. Well, because you traded in covered call funds. Okay? These are swaps. Set it and forget it. No more do we have to say, oh, you got to sacrifice growth for income. But this is the beginning. So I sold like 138 shares out of my 1,500. I sold enough to equal 100 and the profit. I wanted to focus on my 100,000. So this $11,000 and 679. I sell. I had 1,500 shares, 1,509. I sold 128 to rip that profit and turn it from dashboard money to real money. After the rip, you can see my balance is the same. But I wisely put aside the profits. You know what happened the next day? It was bludgeoned red. My account was down $5,000. I took this $11,000 and bought shares. I think it was like $3 a share cheaper. I got more shares now instead of having 1,508. I had 1,538. They were $70 a piece. That was the first move, and I did it again. Let's get the share price or the payment this week for HOOW. Last week it was $2.24 plus $1.82. This is not about consistency. It's about making money. Okay, I'm up to $125,000. This is single stock focused. I withdrew a $3,800 dividend, recovered in a minute because it's not a covered call fund. It moves faster than the stock. Oh, what happens when it goes down? Well, what happens when the stock goes down? Same thing. It goes down. Even if it's levered to the downside, it does not matter as long as it's equally levered and uncapped to the upside. I'll never buy a covered call fund again. I don't care if they do jackrabbit twists, protective collars. I don't care if the fund is wearing a condom. I ain't doing it. It's not my thing. So I'm up $25,000 as of now. The market's not open at 6:47 a.m. Probably retard on dividends is singing like a... Trying to keep myself more concentrated now and focused. I made a video that was so bad, saying all the truth about everything. I put it on Rumble. I had to take it down from YouTube. So let's get to it. So I'm going to get $2,200 this week in dividends on a $100,000 investment. I am going to withdraw it. That has nothing to do with core number compounding. Core number compounding comes down to one thing. We need another calculator. I'm famous for this, the gangbang of calculators, but never a spreadsheet because that's fictitious. I can withdraw $25,000 and have my initial investment. So many of you are deluded into this. So the other day, I was able to take another another 10,000 off the top. I'm gonna take a screenshot so that I can enlarge this for you. My screenshot tool is not working. Anyway, so listen. So I have 1,358 shares. We're going into earnings at the end of this month. Now, I invested $100,000. It grew to $125,000, not counting the $3,800 that I took in last week's monster dividend. My focus is not on the share count. This is a clown game, focusing on your amount of shares. Instead, the Oracle focuses on its portfolio's balance. Now, I have 3 separate portfolios to do this. Actually, I have a bunch, but the ones I'm going to show you, okay, work beautifully. So we have $100,000 in HOOW, paying me dividends and recovering instantly because it's not a covered call fund. Different mechanics. You're in a Ford, I'm in a Ferrari. That's the difference. Actually, I hate Ferrari. You all know I'm a Lamborghini guy. So the share count don't matter. We all watch our portfolio every day, going up and down. You can really learn about this for free in my Discord. I have a dedicated room called the Core Compounding Strategy Guide. It's a manifesto. It's free. No Todd Akins, no ebook, nothing. I don't do it on small moves, okay? And with something like this, very easy to be up 10%. If I'm up 10,000, I will rip it off the top. I'll wait till a day when it's really red. And then you're going to ask me, what happens if it don't go back down? I have a solution for that too. But when it goes up, I sell just enough shares. Maybe it would take 130 shares to rip $10,000 off the top of that. I don't care about the share count. I care about what I invested. This is real. So now I'm going to get another dividend. I'm going to go ex-dividend tomorrow, okay, or Monday, and get paid on Tuesday from Roundhill. Okay, this is only in HOOW. And if we take a look, we see HOOW has earnings on the 29th. So I'll decide what I want to do when we get closer, if I'm going to stay in for earnings or avoid them and sell into the pump to the emotional clowns. You're in Discord groups with amateurs. Now, I've ripped $21,000 off the top. I could rip off another $1,000. Let's see. 125 minus 21. Actually, I could rip another $4,000 off the top. I'm not going to. Okay? I want to keep my share count. I like this. I believe in it. Now, what do I do with the 21,000 that I've ripped off in the last maybe week and a half? Because this is levered. We're moving fast. I'm about the velocity of money. So, you might be itching to put that in to get a dividend. No, I don't feel that. You might be looking to buy more because you always want to tinker and it's a green day. No, I don't feel that. You know what I feel? I feel that I am up $25,481 in a month. I've cashed out dividends. That feeling, oh, it's like no other. You all reinvest and you buy new funds and all of that. The truth is, that's the building stage. I was there. I was a builder. But you don't know how to be an owner. Now I'm an owner. If you stay this long in the video, in the keyword, I want you to put owner. I am an owner. Because when you're an owner, every time you get paid, you can withdraw that dividend. So if this pays me $2,500 this week, I can withdraw it. Now, your question, what happens to this? It's at my discretion. I am up. Okay, I still have a good amount of shares. If I believe in the underlier and what I'm doing, and it's a blood red day, not just ex-dividend day, that's not enough. This needs to be down like $10,000. If that happens, I mean, maybe even if it's down 20,000, but that's a 20% haircut is unlikely. But if it's down 10,000 and I take all this 21,000 and power pack it back in, I'll have way more shares than I did before with their money. Or, you know, maybe I'm comfortable with my $100,000 investment and I want to withdraw my gains and still collect the same dividends. Who's the hero now? Do you get it? Tell me in the comments. This is why I've been legendary for years, and now I bring it to ETFs. My Discord is not like the clown houses you've been in. We're active all weekend, and we know crypto like nobody knows crypto. But you have no idea. Let's go to the next one. Whole number compounding. Core number written by us, written by you. Total control all the time. It's like extra dividends. I went through everything. The only other one I like, aside from HOOW, is Palantir. By the way, in my group, there are no memes, there's nothing, okay? But if you want to learn about the core compounding method, welcome to the core compounding manifesto. It's for long-term positions. It's not swing trading, day trading, nothing. All you do is do what you do already. Look at your portfolio balance. I like to strive for a 10% move. Then I rip off the top. And I buy in at my discretion. If I don't want to buy in, I keep that money. I earned it. War. The specific directions are here in my Discord. And then the actual people doing it in real time. Look, ripping money off the top, $2,200. Come in and see for yourself. Okay? This is amazing. So this is a cash machine that will work until it doesn't anymore. My other favorite, Palantir. Palantir. The future of everything. What we've always wanted when we liked a stock and we got into these things like YieldMax and all of that, we wanted to turn the growth or take a great stock that we liked that didn't pay income and make it pay us income. Unfortunately, covered calls are just not designed to work over the long term. They're designed by design to erode. It's not because of payments or anything, it's the design. You're levered to the downside because the top side is capped. That's why something like MSTY can never come back. ULTY can never come back. Even if the underliers soar to all-time highs, can never come back because of the covered call strategy. We take no prisoners. We learn, we evolve, we are the future. So, to have a levered version of Palantir, levered up and down, gives me a piece of Skynet with a nice income. My goal is to get 2,000 shares. First step was to build a $100,000 core. It's been completed today. Let me introduce you to the core and then we'll do WPAY. Hope you learned it's not the share count. It's how much money you put in and how much money you get out. Period. And if you have to reinvest anything back into a fund to keep it stable, well, that's old paradigm and that's a fund manager that's clowning you. Those days are over. This covers Defiance, Rec Shares, YieldMax, all of them. Every one of them, including Curve. Smell my finger. I just opened a new account to weaponize with PLTW only. Okay, started building it, and I did my contribution. $100,000. Welcome to the new core number. In a separate account, it keeps focus. But the big one is WPAY. It's going to cover everything that has earnings. It's going to be wild. I went all in on WPAY. $500,000. It's the monster, the mother of them all. All right, let's bring out the beast. This is all in on WPAY. For the first time ever, instead of having to reinvest or worry about anything, I was able to withdraw $7,000. Last week's dividend was like $7,800. I was able to withdraw it. And if you look, my total gain, I'm positive. Everybody on YouTube with YieldMax, from Kamir to the dumb Aussie, are negative. And they can't withdraw their dividends because they're margin to the tits. So, I wanted to have everything in WPAY and then have T-bill so I could actually see my dividends grow and accumulate without reinvesting or anything. If this thing continues, I think they're going to do 77 cents this week, right? I don't know. I could be wrong. All I did was add up and divide the individuals. So if we look at this, 88.36. If they do 77 cents, $7,000 this week. Now, that's amazing. I said for the week, yeah. I don't like to talk about money like the douche tubers, okay? It's not your money unless you recovered it. So this way we're going to see what it accumulates. So let's look here. So we have all in on Round Hill Weekly Universe. 8,800 shares. Now, this 169 shares of HOOW, I'm an opportunist, okay? It's the first dividends I got this month, pretty much. A little carryover from last month. But remember, I withdrew. This is symbolic. I withdrew $7,000. Never able to do that all 2 years. I was in the YieldMax dopamine chase. That's why I unsubscribed from the emails. Trust me, I don't ever need to get a $36,000 or $7 per share dividend that I can never recover from. I took that $36,000 dividend and I wound up being down $54,000. And because of the way covered calls are, look at AMZ, look at Misty, look at all of them. When the underlier goes down, they take all the downside, but they're levered against you on the upside. I'm not going to say capped. I'm going to say literally levered against you on the upside because they are capped. And so you never get back up. So you got to sell. That's my thing. But to stay capital flat, I remember when I interviewed Jay about Ulti. To stay capital flat, Jay told me I had to reinvest 100% of everything he gave me. I'm not going to eat at your house, bro. Because apparently, as soon as I sit down and eat with you, if I'd like something else, I'm going to have to give you some of the food back. I don't know. That's not how income investing works. This is what we've all been taught by Wall Street for years. It's time to rebel. We've all been taught for years that in order to make any kind of profits or income, you had to reinvest some of your money. Why? If I have to reinvest it, you suck at trading. Or your strategy sucks. Yeah, because whatever you pay me from the NAV, if you're still trading like a bunch of little beavers, you should be able to replenish it and build up more and pay me again. That's what I gave you the money for, right? From now on, a dividend should be a reward, not a punishment. I've been punished many times, in my personal opinion, by taking YieldMax dividends. It won't happen anymore. I was the legend that walked away from MSTY and profited $44. I know you don't believe that, right? I'll show you. Yeah. At a $25,000 capital gain, Misty was at 44. But because it's been damaged so much by being levered against it in the upside, it will never ever come back. Bitcoin has to go to 1 million. Okay? And then maybe if MicroStrategy is still in business and not taken over by the government to build the Federal Strategic Reserve, well, maybe it'll go to $20. Other than that, it's not going to. Bitcoin went to all-time highs. Misty's $14. I had 5,000 shares. If I stayed and drank the YouTube Kool-Aid, I would have lost so much money. And no, the dividends would not have made up for it. That's the sunk cost fallacy. The nonsense that you still have the shares and they'll pay you forever is ridiculous, because as the price keeps going down, it gets to a point where all the shares you had saved up, they're going to take back from you. They're going to do a 10-for-1 reverse split. If you built up 10,000 shares of Misty and one day they decide to do a 10-for-1 at some point, because the strategy won't change. It does what it does. It's the mechanics of the design. They're not going to change the prospectus again. They'll make a Misty 2, MSTY2, 11 version to copy Roundhill. They'll make an NVIDIA 2. Oh, they'll do all of these for sure. But yeah, again, who knows what they're talking about and who's feeding you a spreadsheet. Join the game this weekend. Learn the truth. That's why we are legendary. Welcome to Oracle Black Ops. Have a nice day. I have a Rumble channel. I made a video. It was so bad and so raw that I had to take it off YouTube by my choice. That's 20 minutes for you. Have a nice day.